with New Order live on DISCO100 Radio YouTube channel. We have a great show today. Between 5 and 5:30, we're gonna give some updates what's going on across this country, that issues affecting our community. At 5:30 to 6:30, at the bottom of the hour, we're gonna interview Kent Osborne when he went from prison to power. So I like when someone can come out and do his thing, especially as an entrepreneur black male. So in the studio, I have my national economic advisor, Mr. Noki Hart, and my co-host. What's up, bro?
What's happening? How you doing, man?
All right, now we have a part of the team. You playing both roles today. We have Miss Shanier Osborne, who's actually the wife of Kit Osborne, who also is the research coordinator for New Order. What's going on, Shanier?
Hey, how you doing?
All right. First of all, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
I know this is your first time here. I know you've been seeing us from a distance. So what we're gonna do, Shanier, let's go to Shanier right quick. Shanier, I think you've been kind of explain your role for the organization. What brought you into the organization? A lot of people in the organization has been victims.
Correct.
And things like that. Then they want to give back to the community. So kind of introduce yourself to the listeners.
Well, I'm Shanier Osborne. I'm also a research specialist with New Orders. The reason why I came in and looked into New Orders because a lot of people that know me know that I had a son that's in prison for 25 years and a nephew also in prison for 15 years for the same crime. So once I seen New Orders was doing great things, I decided to come in and join New Orders because we do understand that, it is hard for people to help. It is hard. And not everybody not going to be able to push things to get everything out, in the opening. But one thing New Orders did, they came in, they got the news reporters out. And
even though I'm upset about that, we got to go back to Augusta.
Oh yeah,
I know that that happens sometimes, but we will continue to pray for your son and your nephew. Correct. Okay. So we got some unfinished business. Just this pandemic hit, and things like that. But I see that you had posted a video. I think he said something from. Is I'm saying that right? Yeah. He sent that or whatever. So when you seen him do that, how did you feel? Because I know it's hard. It got to be hard.
Man, when I tell you.
In them clothes, you know what I mean? Owned by somebody else.
Now, one thing I can say, I don't know how it feels to lose a child. Let's take that back.
Okay.
Because I know it's a lot of kids that got killed in the streets and, murdered and everything. I don't know how that feels. But a mother sitting back watching your son get 25 years at a young age, that's a hurting feeling. And it really got to the point where I was, get ready to start to be depressed, but God came in and showed me like, it's going to be okay. You just got to keep moving. You got to keep pushing and just try to do the right thing for your son.
Again, you can call in at 678-638-6626, be a part of the conversation. How you been doing, bro? It's been a week since we've been in the studio, man.
Yeah, man, it's been great. I've been a great week, been working hard and everything.
Okay. You got anything you want to give an economic report? Anything you want to say to our listeners, man?
I just I just wanted to respond to what she was saying because I've been through the same trials and tribulations, myself personally. But also I understand what transpired between the younger generation.
Okay.
We having a thing where the criminal justice system, even though they try to tell us the state don't profit off of, but you got the peoples that have these jobs that's profit, because you ain't gonna never find a vacancy in no state prison.
Right.
They always talking about They always talking about how it's overcrowded and all
no
this.
No vacancy, huh?
No vacancy, and they making so much money. And it's not going to the state, it's going to those people who work for the state. And the way the game is designed and organized, it's not about trying to save lives or spare people from going through this hardship. And, I'm not saying anybody responsible as some type of conspiracy, but it is a conspiracy. When they're not doing the necessary thing to educate the younger generation or lead them down the right path.
Right. We
You know.
definitely got to look out for the next generation. Just want to give a quick update on the Renardo Lewis case. Back in April of 2019, Renardo and his wife entered to a IHOP in Marietta, which is located in Cobb County. And there was some words that took place between his wife and one of the employees. A family besides them was arguing over some bacon. All right. So as a king, he went inside the IHOP to protect his queen. He was upset, saying, "You have the wrong family." So he's getting outraged, and it just verbal words. They talking about he came in there and was saying terroristic threats and all that. But make a long story short, they called the police. The only thing the police seen was an angry black man. You know what they was about to do. So I seen this video. I mean, it was bad. You can hear what he said. "I'm trying to sit down," or whatever, and things like that. But they just did too much excessive force. I was in Ohio at the time, but when I got back to Georgia, I immediately contacted Marietta Police and met down with the chief of police and explained this to me, of this excessive force that's going on, and things like that. So anyway, he was incarcerated for a minute. He got out of jail or whatever. I went to visit. I didn't meet him, but I was trying to locate him. But I found his wife to explain to him that we want to see anything that we can do, because I would never jump in front of the camera without talking to the family first. You don't do that. That's very disrespectful. So I had a chance to meet with the wife or whatever. Then when he got out or whatever, he was on an ankle monitor, and he said, "Bro, I don't know who you are, but I really appreciate what you did." He told me that. I said, "Hey, this is what we do. There's some injustice going on in this situation." I'm familiar with Cobb County. It's kind of on being busted. There's a lot of issues that came through Cobb County. So I was not surprised what I witnessed on that video, but we got to look into this. So what happened was I had a chance. I want to give a shout out to my field director, Miss Kimberly Hartfield. We wrote a letter to the DA and saying, why he's out on, because when he got on the bond, he was on a strict curfew. He had to be in at a certain time, so he was losing money. He has his business. He's a business owner here. His wife owns a hair salon. So they're not no menace to society in Cobb County. And he was just losing money. So what happened was, for strike one, guy stepped in, this curfew got lifted. And then, matter of fact, yesterday he went to court and he was facing some serious charges. Assault police officers and all that. But for some reason, guys stepped in, all charges was dropped. But you know what? It's called civil suit now. So on Tuesday, myself and him is calling a press conference. The media already contacted me to let them know what is the next step. But we want to know people need to know who Renardo Lewis is. Mm-hmm. His restaurant is very nice. He's just not no black man not doing nothing. And, I feel that we owe him that, and let him tell his side of the story on how he felt when he thought he was going to lose his life, because y'all see what's going on and things like that. So
I think we should bring him in, man. And we need
he wants to come in. At first, he couldn't talk because the attorney, but now he's going to appear on Real Talk with New Order Live on DISCO100 Radio. I want him to tell his story, and things like that. And matter of fact, he did. And matter of fact, he already got one of these New Order. So he wants to get involved. So he was a victim. Now he coaches football and all that. So, it's just the fact they just seen a upset man or whatever, and they threw him through the window at IHOP. It was bad. You need to look at the video, but we're going to go ahead and speak on that. Now, did anybody see the video that happened in Savannah, Georgia? And Ken, if you want to jump in, I know you go do your thing at 5:30.
Yeah, 5:30. Yeah.
There was a video, bro. I don't know if you've seen the disco. I know you've seen it. But again, call in 678-638-6626. There was a football coach hit a 9-year-old during a game, like punched him. And I know kids you might do the wrong play or whatever, but I think it went too far and it was caught on video. I mean, if you see this video, now assault charges coming down on this brother. I mean, he hit him hard. If he didn't have a helmet on, you probably would have broke all this. Wow. I mean, is it that serious? And this is Pee-wee football. You know what I'm saying? But the question where some of our kids are real bad, and which I understand, but that was uncalled for. Now assault charges coming down. So when y'all get a chance, there's a video. Just type in Savannah, Georgia, where a football coach is charged with assault of a 9-year-old. Now imagine you in the stand, you seeing this coach hit your son. How would you react? You feel me?
You're coming out.
It's just the fact. And I hate to say it. I know I don't want to use. I mean, if he wouldn't hit no white child like that. Right. I'm just being honest. He hit our own. It was uncalled for. And things like that. But I talk to coaches all the time. They say, we do have some kids. It's bad. I understand, but when you have a grown man, he could have broke all this.
Right. But you got a responsibility as a
Some coaches supposed to be a role model if their father's not in the home, right? You take him to
that's the point
that's
I'm
what
making.
I'm questioning, man. Unless it's been going on a lot.
Right, you got to respond. If I entrust you with my child, you got a responsibility to treat my child correctly.
Right.
Not
Because they're in their hands. You feel me?
Yeah. And
you know, because you know if the home is uncomfortable and you send your child even to school, it's supposed to be home for away from home. Am I right, Shanair? I mean, what is your comment on that?
I mean,
if you a mother, you seen that somebody hit your child like that.
I would feel the same way because that's just like, for example, with my son getting 25 years, I still feel like that judge beat my son with ropes and everything with 25 years. So I can imagine how a parent feel, you know, of somebody doing their 9-year-old like that on the field. Yeah, I'm ready to fight.
Only thing saved him was this helmet.
Wow.
And then he walked away and came back and hit him in the back of the helmet. It was like, okay, when is this? I mean, I understand you can get frustrated with our kids, but does it take that part that much? Now you about to be taken to the state.
Yeah. Wow.
What's up, Disco? What you got for me?
Man, you know, I got told you before, you know, I've been coaching for 17, 16 years.
I was going to ask you your opinion on that video.
Yeah, basically, you know, we all grew up different ways. You know, like when I grew up, certain parks, or matter of fact, let's go back to where I'm up here. Certain parks, certain kids react to certain stuff.
Right.
I'm not giving no cosigning for them, but they did it. What I'm saying is I done had kids I can talk to certain kind of ways, and they adapt to that. And I had some kids that had to say, come down some too.
Okay.
So it's different, but not nothing like that.
Right.
Well, I think the problem lays at is, and I think it's going to come out.
What's that?
Nowadays, these folks betting on these little kids. These cats putting money on all these.
Betting on the game?
Yes. These cats putting all that bread out there for these kids to play.
Angry, bro.
I'm telling you, if you go to us, they betting on games for these little boys, 8 years old, 9 years old, putting stacks on these little games, 5 and 6 year old games. So I don't know who Buddy was. I don't know if that was his child. I don't think it was a child, but he went crazy.
You think he just lost it?
It don't matter, cause where he gonna be? Where he at right now?
Right.
Yeah, he getting his hands put on right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a must. I promise you.
Right. And you go inside them. Like I said, I ain't never been there, but I'm
No, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Family member might be in there.
His daddy, he must not have no daddy or uncle. Somebody watching the game had to be.
Somebody had to come out that stairs.
Yeah, that's
right.
crazy.
Nobody said nothing. Like I said, just check out the video when you can. Again, be a part of the conversation. Call in at 678-638-6626. This is Real Talk with New Order, live on DISCO100 Radio YouTube channel. In the studio, I had my economic advisor, Mr. Noki Hardin. We had a research specialist, Ms. Shanair Osborne. We have Kent Osborne. Kent, I know you want to give us a little preview, a little tease about why you, when you heard about that situation. What you think, bro?
I was gonna rebound by what he just said.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, like what you're saying, they gambling off the games and stuff. I mean, it's gambling, you know what I'm saying? So I can imagine, you know what I'm saying, you picking a team even though it's kids.
Okay.
You still making money. It's a gamble.
That's why you think that's why you got so angry. We don't know the facts, but you think that's why?
Yeah. Yeah, it can be something.
Because he was too angry, man. Y'all got to see this video. It was crazy. Very crazy. Now, I want to give a shout out to our youth and outreach department. Thank you for all of the donations and stuff. Again, Shauna, the vice president, and Rita, they're doing a wonderful job. We're going to do something for Christmas. You know, we have different views about Christmas. I do understand because my grandson called me. He said he want a PS5. I look like you in my mind. Okay, you're not getting that. You know, PS5. I mean, he went from 1 all the way to 5. You know, and like when I was that age, we wasn't standing in no house just playing no video games. Right. We was out and about. You know, we had fun. So, but that's what's going on. We talk about this all the time about this generation, man. And Ken, I want to get your opinion on that. What you think about the generation these days, man? What we can't give up though. What you think about back then and now, even as far as raising kids?
Yeah, I mean, I just think the generation now, they spoiled. They get away with a lot of things. You know, the parents are young. They're more friends with them and stuff like that.
Right.
I
say that all the time.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you take them in, you take them out.
Oh, yeah. That's what they say. I brought you in this world. I take you out. The parents these days, they don't think like that. They want to be
child services knocking at your door. Yeah. You know, it's like the discipline rights, but according to your situation, it wasn't nothing like that, huh? It's just, you know, about your son and all that, because I can see on the outside in you did your job as raising that child, and I hate when some people might be at the wrong place at the wrong time or hanging around the wrong crowd or making a bad decision, and then at the end like, man, I didn't mean to, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And things like that.
Well, I can say that my child with no perfect kid now.
I understand. My child ain't no perfect kid either now.
Yeah, I mean, my son did things, I got on him. He got plenty of whoopings. Being a single mom is hard.
I got you.
So, raising a teenager this put it like this, a mother raising a boy, it's hard. But I know plenty of mothers that raise plenty good kids and they are successful.
They don't play.
So
Moms
yes,
didn't
Lord,
play.
yes.
Hey,
And you got some kids these days, they hard here, don't want to listen. And my son was one of them.
For real.
He had a good mama and still a good mama, because I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna ride with my son.
You still there with him, though?
I'm still there with him.
Okay.
But my son was hard headed. And sometimes
But
being
most boys is
hard-headed,
kind of, you know what I mean? They test their mom.
yeah, they do. And he was in the military. So, and yes, I forced him to get in there, to be honest. I forced him to get in the military.
Now, when the situation happened, did it happen while he was out on leave from the military, or
no,
he was already?
he was still in there.
For real?
When all this happened, my son did basic training and finished basic training and everything.
And that happened during
And something told me to tell my son, don't come back to Augusta. Stay in basic training. But he had a child at the time.
Okay.
So he wanted to come back after basic training to come with his baby, which that's understanding. But some in my gut feeling kept saying, no, you got your son on the right track. Make him stay and let him finish or whatever they got to go. But he ended up coming back and within a month, matter of fact, wasn't even 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, my son got, I get a phone call. Police everywhere at my sister's house with my son and her son.
So let me ask you, since he was in the military, don't you get in trouble as far as the military as well?
Well, at
because
that
you're really
time,
not no civilian at that time.
Yeah, at that time they didn't they didn't step in because it was a major charge of armed robbery. So armed robbery, yeah.
You still could get in trouble.
They still ain't supposed to trust him. Cause I had that happen to me. They ain't supposed to touch him.
Yeah.
Really?
He's not a civilian yet.
Yeah.
He still belong to government
And I agree
property.
with that because
But
when I was
see,
in the
they
military,
still-
a guy committed a crime. He actually killed somebody who was in the military,
Wow.
and he was under the military. He wasn't a civilian, so he
Yeah.
right now he's still in the bridge.
But see, the judge there in Augusta didn't care, because I even told the judge my son was in the military. He didn't care at the time. He didn't care because we heard plenty of things about this same
That
judge.
is kinda-
He was racist.
Yeah, no, he wasn't supposed
you
to touch him because I got in trouble.
Oh,
And
really?
I got in Miami, and they couldn't do nothing to me. They actually sent me
Wow.
to a special place in Miami. Then they put me on the plane and sent me to. I had to go to Kentucky.
Wow.
military, right?
Yeah, they. I stayed in the county one night.
You,
That next morning they took me to the
military.
They took me to
Wow.
the
'Cause they
airport.
really own you, yeah.
yeah,
government
but see,
property.
They didn't do my son like that.
But let me backtrack on what she said
Go ahead.
about what Kay said about the boys.
Uh-huh.
She hit on the head about how she raised hers, but it's too many hub sons. It's too many hub sons, meaning it's too many mamas that baby these boys.
You're right.
When you get a man come in their life to get them right,
You're right about that.
and you lean on to him more than you do the husband.
You're
So
right.
I call them hub sons. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Got too many of them.
You're right.
So that's the issue.
You want to comment on that note, the story you just...
Yeah, what it is, and because I got a same situation right now. My wife's son is in he's being detained in the Cook County Jail out in Chicago.
I remember you was telling me that, yeah.
And he had a murder. And he was going to the Navy. He had already went into the service and everything.
You gotta be young.
Yeah, and he had just graduated from high school.
What? And caught a murder charge?
Yeah. Well, I don't know all the ramifications.
you.
Only
Right.
thing I do know is that he wound up getting, caught and jammed in, with the situation.
Wow.
And I used to try to explain to my wife, because I had wrote a piece called B.O.B., Business Over Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to tell them, don't feed off up into this stuff that's nonsense, nonsense. Get you some business. Get you a job.
Keep coming in there, bro.
Oh yeah,
Can't
So
wait to
I told
5:30, y'all.
her how the stuff done changed, man. Back in our day, They did it for a purpose. Did it get a detailed business, a car lot,
Even
or
discipline
a
is
barber shop?
changed,
Man,
right.
these cats do it not just to get some damn joints tomorrow.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you something. I know when y'all got that phone call or your wife got that phone call, how does she react, man? At that age, charged with
Man,
murder, man.
That's
How does she react, man? I don't know if you mind talking about
No,
it.
old man talking about it. She was broken to pieces. You know, I mean, even right to
Just got out of high school.
yeah, I mean, even today, you know, she's still traumatized by it because she like my baby, and I told her he's not a baby, but I understand.
Well, you know, moms say
oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh
You know,
yeah.
moms say that, man.
I
And
used
that's-
to tell her that.
Yeah.
and this the problem because you babying them and they don't know how to
Right.
respond to you, but by being babies
Yep.
when they're adults.
Right.
You
So
know
how
what
old
I'm
is he
saying?
now?
He 21.
Wow.
Oh, that is
Wow.
young, man.
Yeah.
Murder.
I feel you, bro.
I got a nephew. My nephew, he called me, and
No. Bam you.
he incarcerated for in the Cook County Jail for murdering his cousin.
Mm.
And I talked to him and everything, and I try to console him because I know he facing the rest of his life in prison.
Behind bars.
Wow.
Yeah, because and not only that, he tried to go to the therapy, for the shrink and stuff, and say he wasn't in his right state of mind when it transpired. But they had deemed him mentally competent to stand trial. So he fighting for his life.
Man.
Wow.
You know, you innocent till you're proven guilty.
That's what they
You
say.
know,
Yeah.
and
Seems like it's different.
you know, we just can't give up, man. At
Yeah.
21 years old, when you hear about a young man charged with murder,
Yeah.
there's two sides to a story, but
Right.
man, I can't manage to get that phone call because I got a son. You know, he got issues with something like that or losing a child or whatever. I can't imagine what parents go through these days.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so you know, again, also I want to kind of bring up what our president just did. You know, he's going to execute 4 black males and 1 female. They was on death row.
Wow.
So he said that he was going to execute them. You can Google this, y'all, before his time out of office. Just straight
Wow.
said that, y'all. You can
Before his
Google it.
time.
Yeah. You know, that man, you know, he's a trip. You know, he got to answer to the man above. He
Yeah.
said he's going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and the Supreme Court just shut him out, so it's over with.
Yeah.
It's over with. You know, so I require y'all to be careful out there.
He partying. I heard it. He partying. What is it called? Partying somebody where he let somebody out.
Yeah,
it's
But
grown.
all the
His
folks,
friend,
that got,
his
but you
friend
know,
or
one
something.
thing
Yeah,
about
it's
white
grown.
folks, I respect that
Yeah.
they do that. They stick together. Us as black folks, we don't stick together.
Yeah. You're
So
right.
when I see that, man, I'm like, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Let me go around the table. Why? Maybe it's me. Let me kind of answer that. Do you think us as a race, do we actually stick together, especially when our back is against the wall? You know
Yeah.
how you get locked up or whatever, and you say you got friends on the outside. Do them friends put stuff on your books? Do they send you letters?
we stick together. It's not. It may not be the entire race because the entire race don't know you, but those who know you gonna stand with you and stand by you.
Right.
They gotta know you, and when you like say for instance, her son,
Okay.
she's standing by her son.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Right.
So it's those who know you. So you can't expect people that don't know you to stand by you. They don't know you.
Right.
There's no way for them to stand by you.
Right.
But now they can get to know you. And then if you make yourself known, they will stand by you. But most of the time, it's going to be the female members in our family that's going to be right there.
It always, yeah.
So the female.
Any comment on that, Kent? About
Well,
us sticking together as a race?
Well, I can say, from my experience, I ain't had that. You know, even when I was locked up, all my homeboys I was locked up with, they wasn't even around. They didn't send me no money or nothing like that. And even right now, the homeboys I used to hang out with, it seemed like they don't like my stuff on Facebook, right? But I can see them like everybody else. Stuff. These are family I grew up with, and when I was
Okay.
in the street doing wrong,
Right.
But now I'm on the other side. They not liking my stuff, but I see they like
They
everybody
hating.
else. Yeah, they hating.
They liking the negative stuff on Facebook that you post, that people post. That
Yeah, they like
when y'all
negative
see
stuff,
that,
they
I'm
other
like,
people's stuff, and you can see it like, dang, you like this stuff, but you ain't liking my stuff, and we grew up together.
you got to share all that. If I see something, I'm gonna share it, man.
Right,
we gotta,
right,
you know,
right,
that's how we should work social media. Go ahead, Disco.
Now you know I'm finna go in.
Go ahead.
You know I'm finna go in.
Don't talk about the dollar thing.
But I ain't gonna leave alone then. I'm gonna leave alone then.
Right. Yeah, we do have an issue.
Yeah.
We don't stick together.
But now, to make a long story short, he right, man. All y'all right. We just for some reason, it's like we don't want to see each other progress, or we thought about something before somebody else did.
Yeah.
We don't want to help them out, but it be most of the ones like you said, close to you, man.
Yeah.
And I don't do no tit for tat. I ain't one of him. I ain't gonna do nothing for you. Keep it in my brain and then throw it back in your face. That's
That's
me.
why in my circle I keep the ones that's on the kind of same level. All that negativity or drama, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
But y'all make sure January y'all watch the show about $1. You know what I'm talking about?
All right.
In January.
You want to chime in on that, Shanair, about our race, as far as working together, like.
Yeah, me and my husband talk about that a lot,
Uh-huh.
and I go back to the slavery back in the days. To me, it started back then.
Okay.
And reason why people always say, "Oh, blacks don't come together," is because it was they were broken up back then. So it's a generation curse.
Right.
So when it's like that, you're gonna have people, family members gonna be against you, jealous of you, don't want to see
Family
you do
members,
better.
you're right. Your own
Yeah,
family,
it be your
right.
own family, and and people who you got close to you that's hating on you.
Yeah.
So to me, it started way back then. It ain't just started now. It started way back.
I like when you always say about it be one white man, then you got all these big strong black men, and the white man just running them, telling all these men what to do. So it's kind of like a mind thing.
It's
You know
a
how you used to
mind,
say that?
yeah. That's just me,
Right.
and that's why we have to come out and do more community and programs and everything to
That's
get
true.
people to come together.
Like, remember that situation, that little young girl?
Yeah.
That guy is gonna walk. I guarantee they got the wrong man.
Wow.
Remember the little 9-year-old Shakira?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody saying nothing. I think it should have been like more rallies and protests, because when somebody else do something, we always talking about Black Lives Matter. You feel me? But when we kill each other, it doesn't really matter.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
feel
what
me?
I'm talking about.
Because
bro.
I was hurt about that case, man. Now you see
Yeah.
how it done died down,
Yeah.
and that guy got a nice attorney, because you innocent till you proven guilty. And I just got a feeling the real killer is probably still out there.
I think we need to do that too. Like when
We
black,
might need
when
to
black
say
people,
something,
when black
right.
people kill black people, let's do the Black Lives Matter thing then
That's
too.
true.
Not
Yeah.
only for the white.
And I know
killers,
it's
but the
different when
black
it comes to
people
the system. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
it's different when it comes to the system.
Yeah.
That is not for us.
Right,
But
right.
we should be just as angry,
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yep.
just as outraged.
By us
I'm
killing
with
each
you on
other.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Can you comment on that? I know you speak on
Yeah,
that a lot.
we are outraged, and I feel that they are held accountable.
Yeah.
They like I said, my nephew locked up, my wife's son locked up. So people's they gonna face their day in court.
Right.
But it's when the police do it, they sweeping the stuff under the rug. They're not holding these people's accountable. That's what we really talking about when we say Black Lives Matter. We talking about accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to hold the police accountable.
Right.
And
Right.
it's a state, it's a mind state that say the police is justified in killing people who stand up to their authority.
Right.
See, if you challenge the police for manhandling a man, then they got right to kill you. This is how they say. Then they give them a playbook, and they say, okay, the things that gonna provoke you. Like
And that's what they did with Mr. Lewis. They started provoking him, escalating him.
right, like saying that when the police all up in your face, spitting in your face,
Right.
and antagonizing
Taking your manhood.
right, and they know that these things gonna make you flinch,
Right.
or whatever.
Oh, he resisted.
Now they saying they're afraid, so now they kill you.
Right.
But they know these are only human reactions.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it justify them murdering you.
Right. And I know your family went through that as well, that the officers murdered it. It was your
My brother.
brother.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, I know when you found out about that, I know you had hatred. Did you have hatred towards the police, man?
No, when I found out about it, I was incarcerated, and my wife, she had came to see me. And she said she had told me that they couldn't find my brother because they pulled him over on a traffic violation. But my brother got out the car and ran. And so they had to, pursued him. And when they caught him, they had hit him in the back of the head with the flashlight.
Wow.
And left him in a field. So my family was looking for him. He was missing for 2 weeks. That's when they found the body.
That's crazy.
That's why when y'all was marching over there
By that area.
where they found
That's
the body.
actually how I met him. But I didn't meet him at the
wow.
time. I met the family.
Yeah.
'Cause I had went to Chicago. Yeah, that was a sad situation. Well, what we about to do now, we about to go ahead and turn it over to our special guest, Mr. Kent Osborne. Just a little background. I just know a little bit. I know he went from prison to power, entrepreneur doing this thing. But we want to know who Kent Osborne is. He do admit he made some mistakes in his life when he was young, and when he was a childhood. But eventually, I guess he got tired of that life and turned his life around. So I even see it on your shirt, which you got prison to power. So kind of introduce yourself, man, and where you at today, bro, and where did you start, So go ahead and kind of introduce yourself and we go from there.
Okay, well, my name is Kent Osborne. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own trucking company. I'm also an author with my own book, From Prison to Power. I also have a nonprofit organization called Prison to Power. And basically what Prison to Power means is the prison starts in the mind. And God allowed us to have the power over our lives. So once I was free from that prison in my mind, it allowed me to stay out that physical prison. You know what I'm saying? And then God gave me the power, with everything else in my life, like being married.
Gotcha.
I had never been married before.
Okay.
So being married, and a Christian rapper, got my own record label. God allowed me to have that. So,
Wow.
I got them things going, but my days, it ain't always been so bright. I had my dark days, when I lost my parents young, lost
How
my
old was
dad.
when you lost your parents?
I lost my dad at 5.
Is that the way you was kind of, because be honest, when my sister got on drugs real bad,
Mm-hmm.
well, when my mom had passed, that was her grievance. So did you kind of grieve?
Oh, yeah.
Use that when you started kind of making bad decisions?
Well, no, because my
that-
mom still was alive, but it hurted a lot by my dad being gone. But I still had my mom for a couple
Okay.
years.
Okay.
And I, once my dad passed, I had to live with my mom. And my mom ended up passing.
Okay.
So my mom passed when I was 9 years old.
Then what, grandmother was raising you then? Or
No, I had to go live with my aunt.
Okay.
I had to go live with my aunt. But my mama was alive, man. She used to always tell me that, that I could be successful. She
Okay.
used to always tell me, you see your daddy, he's an entrepreneur. He came from Jamaica. My dad was a Jamaican, my mom American. So
Okay.
I used to call myself Jamaican Prince.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, half and
Right.
half. Yeah, so she told me you can be successful. She said, you see your daddy, he came from Jamaica and he came over here and started his own business, like working on the orange grove. He was a fruit
Well,
contractor.
you know what? He's living through you right now, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, yeah, he's
Oh,
living
yeah.
through you right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So she would tell me these things. She told me she loved me, and when she passed, I had to go live with my aunt. And me and my aunt, we couldn't get along. My aunt had kids, and then she used to allow her kids to whoop on us, and try to tell us what to do, and a lot of bullying going on. And I remember my aunt used to get money for our parents being dead, and she used to take us to the Salvation Army and buy us these hand-me-down clothes that other people didn't wear. And my mama never.
So
did
you
that.
started getting angry, it sounds
yeah.
like.
Oh, yeah.
Even during your interview right now, I could feel that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I was real angry about that, and my aunt and I, we ended up getting into an argument one day, and I told her this house ain't big enough for me. Like, this a 4-bedroom house. I'm talking about this house ain't big enough for me. I'm a little kid. I just said the first thing came to my mind, and I said, well, I want my mama. She said, well, your mama never coming back. I was telling her I miss my mama and stuff. So she told me mama ain't never coming back. So when she went to sleep, 4 o'clock in the morning, I packed up all my stuff, and jumped out the window, and I ran away.
Wow.
At 14 years old. So if you can imagine,
Wow.
if anybody got kids, if you can imagine your 14-year-old child, if you can imagine your 14-year-old child on the street by himself trying to survive.
So where did you go? If you feel my
I ran to my cousin Janet's house. My
Okay.
cousin Janet, she was a little younger, and she had a daughter around my age,
Okay.
right? And her daughter was already having kids, and she had a brother that was staying there. He was a big time drug dealer. He had the money, the cars, the women, the jury. So to a child like me, it's like, man, he balling. This
I
the
got
place
you.
to be.
So
It's
you
a
was
lot of freedom.
exposed when you seen that?
Oh yeah, I was exposed. I was like,
Okay.
man, it's a lot of freedom over here. I'm in the right place. That's why I ran over there, because I know my cousin.
Right.
But I shouldn't have never ran away from my auntie house. My auntie was a Christian, right?
Okay.
My mama was a Christian. They kept us in church. I shouldn't have never ran away from my auntie house. That was the biggest mistakes I could have ever made. What I should have did, I should have went and talked to another auntie.
Okay.
Another family member, or talk to a counselor, a pastor, somebody like that, instead of making that decision to run away. Because you know what happened when I ran away and got exposed to that?
Mm-hmm.
I started hooking up with all the wrong crowd, man. I started hooking up with all these knuckleheads.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People that didn't want nothing out of life. And I tell these kids today, if you hang out with losers, you're going to become a loser. If you hang out with winners, you're going to become a winner.
True.
And I found myself hanging out with all these losers, man.
Okay.
You know, I dropped out of school. I started snorting powder. I started snatching purses. I was doing whatever I can to survive. And you know, that's how it's going to be. If you're a child of 14 years old and you out there on the street, like and basically that's what I was. I was on the street because my cousin, she didn't really care. She was young herself.
Right.
See what she was allowing her daughter to do and allowing her brother to do around there. So I got into the streets, and you already know, if you that young of an age, you can't get no job. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you going to make money? So how you going to survive? So what's the first thing you think you're going to do out there on the street?
Sell something.
You're going to sell something.
Gotcha.
You're going to break in some houses. You're going to snatch some purses. You're going to do whatever you got to do to survive.
Right.
And I found myself.
You had to eat.
You got to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You ain't got no education. You can't get no job.
Right.
I dropped out of school. So I found myself in the county jail at 16 years old for aggravated assault on a police officer.
Wow. Not juvenile, but the big
boys. I went to juvenile for like a week, the detention center, but then they
you charge as adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they direct file you, they call it, adjudicate you, and they send you to the big boys. Now I'm in the county jail with the big boys at 16 years old with an aggravated assault.
Grown men.
Yes. What happened was, me and my friends, we was walking through a neighborhood. I had the gun on me. So I wanted to feel the kick.
And I appreciate you telling you being real, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
okay.
straight up. So I'm walking through the neighborhood. We got the gun. I want to feel the kick of the gun. So I pull the gun. I start shooting the gun in the air. Somebody in the neighborhood, it was a Caucasian neighborhood.
Okay.
Somebody called the police. By the time we came out the other side, the police was right there, had us surrounded. So
that
they
was
lined
your
all
first
us up.
incident with the law?
That was like my second incident with the law. The first one was a little weed charge I had, and the police came. They just took me to the station and took me back home.
Okay.
To scare me up.
Okay.
But this was the first incident where I went to jail.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they came out and they started searching everybody. I was like the third person in line. I said, as soon as they get to me, I'm gonna take off running. So as soon as they got me, they got ready to say, put your hands up. As soon as they say put, I took off running. So as I'm running through the woods, I got the gun. I'm going around the corner of the woods where the police couldn't see me. I'm thinking it's a blind spot where he can't see me.
Okay.
So I grabbed the gun and throw the gun in the woods. And I keep on running. I see a whole bunch of police over there on the other side. So I get down on my knees and put my hand behind my back, and they put me in the police car. And then the police that was chasing me, by the time he caught up, he was about out of breath. So he went back and looked through the woods, found the gun, and came back and said, I aimed the gun at him. Which I didn't aim the gun at no police. I ain't stupid. I know you're going to get shot for aiming the gun at the police. But this the part right here. If I wouldn't have never had a gun on me doing nothing wrong, I would have never got charged with that charge. You see what I'm saying? So I put myself in that situation. I could be mad all I want, like, oh, he charged me with this, I ain't do this. But if I wouldn't have had that pistol on me, I would have never been charged. If I would have never been doing nothing wrong.
How much time did you do for that?
I sat in the county like 6 months and ended up beating the case with a public pretender. That's what I like to say. Public pretender.
What? The ones that work for the state? I know exactly.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at that.
Man, I'm surprised that it was a good one. They do got some good ones now. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
This one went to bat for me. He fought, man, and
he must seen something in you, man.
He had to.
Wow.
He had to. It was God or something. God already know the plan. You know what I'm saying? He already knew what he wanted me to do. Like sometimes you have to go through things because God allow you to go through it because he know what he gonna bring you out on the end at. Like he know the plan for your life before you even born. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up beating the case, bro, and got back on the street. You know, now I'm back on the street again. I ain't learned from that, hard-headed, man.
That money was good?
Yes, got right back into the street.
So you think that's what's going on today? These young folks, when they do this stuff, that money's too good, they continue to...
Well, that along with the rap music, the stuff that they saying in rap plays a big major part of it, you know, because these rappers, they promoting all this violent, negative stuff and, you know, drugs, talking about how good drugs is, like it's the best thing popping on the earth, but that stuff will get you killed, bro. And these kids don't understand that. They see these rappers balling and these nice cars and I'm in love with the cocoa and all this stuff. Why would you be in love with something that's going to get you killed, get your block knocked off? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's part of my story. My cousin, man, they shot my cousin and killed my cousin baby mama, bro. You know, when I went to prison, I went to prison the first time at 19 years old. Did 25 months in prison. I started rapping in prison. You know, I was doing secular music, like promoting violence, sex, drugs, and guns. I remember we used to be on the rec yard. Everybody crowded around. I'm rapping. They beating on the thing. They were like, KO, when you get out, don't let it go. I ended up getting out and going to work release. And I had a cousin that was out before I came in. And this cousin, before I went in, he was living in poverty. I'm talking about hair nappy, musky pants down low. You see his crack when he walking in. But he gave my girl his number and told her to have me to give him a call when I was in work release. So when I called him, he was like, cuz, he said, boy, it ain't like it used to be. He said, boy, I done came up. He said, I done came up. He said, cuz, I'm gonna put you on. So here I am, I'm all happy, walking around the compound, beating on my chest, calling on my homeboy. Yeah, y'all need to come holler at me when you get out. I'm finna be on strong. But you see what was happening. I was still trapped inside that mental prison.
That prison
mentality. Okay. That's what this is all about, that prison mentality.
Right.
I'm still thinking about getting out, doing something that's gonna send me back to the place where I'm at. I either dead. So I did get out, and when I got out, that same cousin, he put me on, man. We became some of the biggest drug dealers in Melbourne, Florida. I'm talking about, man, we was buying keys. My cousin be like, cuz, I made $10,000 a day. I said, I made $11,000 a day. He'll say, I made $12,000 a day. We was competing on how much money we was making each day.
Wow.
I started taking some of that money, man, and investing into the music business like I told them guys in prison that I was going to do.
Okay.
I started opening up for Lil Wayne. I started opening up for Juvenile. I started paying Pastor Troy to get on a record with me, paying Phil Mark to get on a record with me. Now I'm riding around the city like a big time recording artist, right? Selling my music out my trunk like Master P them were doing, riding around the Southeast. Around that time, man, my cousin, his pregnant baby mama, me and my girl, we was all living together. My girl at the time, she was like, let's get out the game. She said, I'm scared being here by myself because my cousin was breaking all the rules. Right. He would have money sitting right here. He might have 10,000 sitting right here. He might have 20,000 over here. He might have a key of coke right here. So now when the people that's buying the drugs coming in to buy the drugs, they seeing all the stuff exposed right there. So now they plotting. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we need to get this dude. You know what I'm saying? So now they plotting. So my girl, she knew about it because her baby daddy was in the feds for drugs. So she said, man, let's go to Atlanta and see, can we start a new life? I was like, man, I don't know about that, man. I said, here I am making all this money. You just want me to up and leave? I said, I'm a black man, and I done been to prison, and you think it's going to be an opportunity for me? See, I was still trapped inside that mental prison. Right. But as she started to talk, it started to make sense because I was a smart drug dealer, too. I was like, well, you know what? He is doing all the wrong things, allowing people to come in here and see. So let's take a chance. We end up leaving, man, and going to Atlanta. 3 o'clock in the morning, bro, I get a phone call in the morning from the police department telling me I need to get back home to Melbourne, Florida. There's been a homicide. They said
the police called you?
The police called me. They said two people are deceased. They said two people are deceased.
Wow.
And one fighting for his life. What had to happen? Two guys had came and broke into our house and grabbed my cousin and his pregnant baby mama and took him in the back room and had them on their knees execution style. They began to ask my cousin, where was the drugs? My cousin telling them, man, I ain't got nothing. They asking him where the money at. He telling them, I ain't got nothing, man. They began to shoot his girlfriend 14 times, bro. Last shot in the head. Bah! So he on his knees, so she fall in his hand, and you know, she drooling out the mouth, her eyes rolling back, and he got her. He telling her it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, knowing it's not gonna be okay. She just got shot 14 times and one in the head. So as he looks up to ask them, why did y'all do this? Pow, pow, they shot him twice in the face, one right there, bro. And it went down and lunged in his throat. My cousin ended up surviving. You know, that's how I know the story, because he told me about it. But he said he got up after about 30 minutes later, he didn't know where he was shot at. He said when he came out the room, out the closet, fell on the bed, he seen the blood on the bed. Right. So he knew he was shot in the head. So he got up, made his way down the hall, went and called the police. You know, and them boys was on the run, man. They was on the run for a while.
Let me say something. Please call in at 678-638-6626. We are currently talking to Kent Osborne. He went from prison to power. He's telling his story. I mean, he's telling some great things, and you might have some questions for him or whatever. So when you moved to Atlanta, is this when stuff started changing for you?
No, matter of fact, I ended up coming back. When I
got to Florida?
Yeah, because remember the police wanted me to come back for questioning.
They might thought you might have been involved.
Yeah, because I lived there. They don't know what's going on.
Okay, so you went back. Okay.
I went back. Yep, and we went looking for them dudes, man. Me and my family got together. We were looking for them dudes every day, man. Our mission was to shoot on sight. We wanted revenge. Right. The police was going to take them in, but the police had them out on the dangerous. But they ended up turning themselves in like 30 days later, man. Okay. They were scared. They turned themselves in. You know, I came back and I jumped back in the game. You know what I'm saying? You would think after all this, been to prison.
Wow.
Cousin then got shot execution style that I knew God was getting me
still that prison mentality.
Yeah, okay. You would think I would have got up out of it. Like, man, I'm cool with this crap right here, man. And I jumped right back in the game, man. Started back selling drugs, and you know, for the next couple of years, in and out of jail again. I was going to jail with drugs, getting drug charges.
No, if you don't mind, you have a question for this brother? Because I know.
No, I mean,
This is deep, man.
I,
Okay, we got some questions for you. 'Cause
now I
this
can
is-
relate to everything he's saying because that's how my life transpired. And you know, because I come from a community that was drug infested,
Right.
and everybody sold drugs,
Mm.
young and old.
So you kind of relate then, huh?
Yeah, you know, they the cartel use our people right here in America because this impoverished reality that we was cast into, because we went from slavery to poverty.
Mm.
You know what I'm
It's deep.
saying? So,
It's deep.
and this is the whole impetus of my book, The Never Ending Game.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? How it started with us,
Right.
but we was corrupt mentally. You know, and so I relate it to everything you
I
said.
think-
And not to cut you
No,
off,
you good.
but what he had said, and everything he said resonated with me when he said, you were sitting in prison thinking about getting out to commit more crimes.
So is that true when you sitting? Is that true? The mentality they have in there?
Oh
You
yeah,
sitting there
yeah.
thinking,
It's
okay.
that prison.
You
Bro.
had a quick question, Disco, for Kent?
I think KO gonna give me the answer I'm looking for. I already know the answer pretty much. When we went back to Florida, to whatever the question was, he got back in the game. I'm pretty sure because Cuz wasn't doing it no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like he left that atmosphere, but because Cuz got hit, now he had something to prove, get the bread back, and get the cats back who did it. So it wasn't gonna satisfy him just to get him back. It was to make that bread because he knew what his cousin had. You know what I'm saying? That was like all due respect to legacy. Not saying he ain't worth more than that because you see he is. But at that time, with the legacy, me and my cousin had the whole street. We had the whole strip. My cousin got hit, but get what? I'm gonna keep this shit rolling. So it wasn't so much from being not growing up about it. It was that the task wasn't finished yet. Now I think if Cuz wouldn't have got hit, I don't think we'd have came back to it.
But this the thing though.
Go ahead, Kent.
My cousin got back in the game.
Wow.
That joker had a thing on his
The
neck.
one that got
breathing.
shot,
Yeah, man. Can you believe that crap? It wasn't
That's
just
that
me.
prison
That's
mentality,
that
huh?
prison mentality thing. That joker had a thing in his neck, man, out there hustling, smoking weed and everything. I'm like,
Right.
Yeah.
hard.
Go ahead,
You got
bro.
the right name.
Yeah. See what it is.
That's
What it
right
is
name.
though. What it is that when the police come in and they take the person who spotted was, you can remove them, but it's gonna be so many peoples, man, trying to vie for that spot.
Mm.
It's gonna be because, like, I'm gonna give you a case in point. Otis Moe, y'all probably ain't never heard of him, but if you Google him, he was a kingpin in Chicago Heights. He worked for the Chicago Heights police. He was paying the Chicago Heights police $10,000 a month. He told on the chief of police and the mayor. They went to the federal prison. The day the chief of police came out of prison,
Mm-hmm.
Otis Moe had a wire on for the FBI and was supposed to be, according to the report, killed himself in front of the police station with a gun with a wire on for the FBI. The next day, Mangialotti, who was the chief of police who he sent to prison, walked into the halfway house the very next morning.
Mm.
But the point I'm making is Otis ran a spot called the Keyhole. And after Otis ran the Keyhole or left the Keyhole, Nino, who was my buddy,
Mm-hmm.
took over Otis' operation. He didn't get the whole entire operation because it was too big. He ain't have enough.
Right.
He ain't even have enough drugs to supply what Otis was doing. But Otis clientele had broke off up into so many different portions because so much traffic came into that area that's how the old and the young wind up getting involved into the thing. But yeah, you gotta Google it one day. Otis Moe. Otis Moe. We'll Google it one day. You will
Otis
see the
Moe?
whole story. Yeah.
Okay,
Otis
go
Moe.
ahead, bro. I mean, this is deep, man.
Yeah.
The phones used to be blowing up.
Yeah.
I don't know why they scared to call in. Call in 678-638-6626. We got this brother in the studio, went from prison to power. I mean, he's an entrepreneur now. And then now you own a trucking company, correct?
Yes,
rap artist, Christian rap artist. I mean, he's doing this thing, but right now he's telling how it used to be. Keep continuing the story, bro.
Yeah, and I want to make some points in there. Like when I was telling you how my family we went looking for the boys.
Okay.
It wasn't me, it was some people in my family. They went looking for the boys, so they couldn't find the boys, so they went to the boys' mama house and shot the boys' mama house up looking for the boys.
So stuff like that, they retaliate on the family, huh?
Oh yeah, they can't
Because
find
they're
you,
the
they come out
torture.
the family.
I got you.
Yeah, they come
Okay.
out the family.
Somebody gonna goddamn feel.
Oh yeah,
I feel
they
it.
come out
Okay.
your mama, your sister, your cousin, brother.
They
your
shut up
daughter,
the
your
house?
child. Yeah, they shot up the house. Thinking
Okay.
the mama was in there, but by the
Okay.
grace of God, nobody went in there, and I'm glad nobody went in there today. You know,
Right.
back then my mindset was different.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
but this is what I try to tell these young boys: like, what you do don't only affect you; it affect your loved ones. Because if you go out there and do something stupid and they can't find you, they coming to kill your mama, your sister, your brother, your cousin.
They gonna
whoever,
get
they coming
somebody,
to
huh?
get it. Yeah, and it's all because of a stupid decision that you made
Okay.
that got your whole family caught up. And I tell these women just like this: y'all get with these drug dealers because y'all want the money, the cars. Y'all
Right.
get with these drug dealers because y'all want the money, the cars, the jewelry. Y'all want to look good riding up in the
Flashing.
Chevy, hair done and all this. But guess what? If somebody come in that house to rob and steal and kill them drug dealers, they gonna kill you too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't a zip.
So everybody
They
gonna
kill
pay
you
the
too.
price, huh?
Yeah. Why they gonna leave you so you can tell on them? They ain't leaving no evidence. You know what I'm saying? And my wife know what I'm talking about. She came from that era too. You know what I'm saying? She dated drugs. She got a story. She just don't tell it, but she know what I mean. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? They coming to get it.
Biggest drug dealers.
Yeah, they coming
Wow.
to get it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I ended up getting back into the game, man,
Okay.
and was in and out of jail, and I went to prison again for the second
What's
time.
the longest time you did in prison?
25 months, which was the first time.
Okay.
The first time when I was 19 years old. So I
Okay.
just went again in 2007, right? This was my last time in 2007, going to prison, right? And they gave me 20 months. So I did 8 in prison and did the 8 in work release, and the other 4 was for good behavior.
Okay.
So here I am again in 2007 in prison again. I couldn't believe it, because I'm like, man, here I am. You know, I'm traveling. I got these songs with these major artists and stuff like this. Like, I'm thinking I'm a recording artist. Everybody else looking at me like a major recording artist.
Right.
I got songs with these artists,
Right.
opening up for Lil Wayne, but I'm sitting back here in prison again, bro. And I couldn't believe it, man. I was like devastated. You know what I'm saying? I was like devastated. I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm here again. And I remember talking to this guy in there that was locked up. The guy looked just like I did. At the time, I had 16 gold teeth in my mouth, 8 at the top and 8 at the bottom.
Right.
I done got most of them out, and I'm working on getting the rest of them out, you know, because it was a mistake. I wish I would have never got these golds in my mouth. And I tell anybody, do not get these junks in your mouth.
Explain that to our young people, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Like when you get these goals in your mouth, man, you got people that's gonna look at you and they're gonna start thinking a certain kind of way, like you a bad person. You selling drugs and stuff. You put a profile on yourself when you get these goals, and it's more of being a follower. Like, you doing what everybody else doing. You just following.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't being no leader. You being a follower because you see everybody else doing it. You want to do it because you want to get the girls. You want people to know you're big time drug dealers, and you know, it's just all that right there. But it's a lot of problems come with that.
Gotcha.
You know,
Okay.
people look at you the wrong way.
Right.
You know, yeah, it's the culture. Even now, what goes in my mouth, you know, I still feel a certain kind of way when I'm doing business, and I got to go in front of certain people, and I got goals in my mouth. I feel a certain kind of way about that. You know, back
Okay.
then I didn't care. It was more,
Right.
I'm not just grilling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm like trying to keep my mouth closed now, so they don't see it.
Right.
But it's all good. But I remember talking to this guy in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Guy looked just like I did, black guy. He said, Kent, listen. He said, bro, and I ain't gonna try to get too spiritual, but I am a spiritual
I
person.
got you. No,
you know what I'm saying?
You
So,
good.
I'm like,
You good. It's
okay.
your platform.
Okay,
You good.
so the guy was in prison, but ain't perfect by a long shot. So I don't nobody sit here and think I'm perfect and nothing like that. But I can't tell you, man. God changed my life. I remember being in prison and telling this guy about what I was doing. This guy said, Kent, listen. He said, bro, if you want to be successful, he said, you need to give your life to God. He said, I'm telling you, bro, everything that you want out of life, it can happen for you. So I'm telling him, I said, so you saying that if I give my life to God, that God will allow me to be a successful Christian rapper with my own record label like I was trying to do when I was in the world?
Right.
He was like, yeah, bro. He said, I'm telling you, man, if you give it to God. And basically it takes me back to Matthew 6:33. Matthew 6:33 says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things should be added unto you. Right? So just like Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not into thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. But see, when I was out there, I was leaning on the understanding of my friends. My friends was telling me. I was leaning on the understanding of what these rappers were telling me, like Plies, ride with that fire, pop pills and stuff like that. I'm leaning on their understanding. You know what I'm saying? Which kept landing me in prison and landed
Right.
my family members dead. You know what I'm saying? But as I started, if he told me to come to church with him, he said, man, come to church when I'm telling you, it can happen for you, bro. I knew about church because my auntie kept me in church. My mama kept me in church. So I just strayed away, bro. So when he told me that, I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go to church. I started going to church with him, man.
That was inside the prison, right?
That was
That
in prison.
okay.
So they got church in prison. Yep.
Right.
Yep,
Right.
7
right.
days a week. And I started going with him, man. And I remember the more and more I started going, I started building this personal relationship with Christ. And I would write negative music, promoting violence, sex, drugs, and guns on this side. Then as I would read my word, because, you know, you're getting into the Bible and you're reading the word, and basically God is directing your life by that Bible. Like they said, the Bible is basic instructions before leaving earth. So
Right.
once you're reading the word, it's telling you how to live your life. And you got to start lining your life up with what the
that's
word
deep.
say.
Right.
And that's how your life gonna change.
Right.
Once you start lining your life up with what that Bible say, your life begin to change now.
Right.
Because you start to think different. You start renewing your mind.
Right.
And it's
right.
all about renewing that mind. That's where prison of power comes from.
Right.
Right. So I start renewing my mind. So the more and more I start building that personal relationship, I start writing all that negative music that I was making that was promoting violence, sex, drugs, and guns, and just started writing positive music to gear towards God. Because I knew by me writing this negative music that
You gonna keep doing them actions.
huh?
As I'm saying, if you keep writing negative music, you might start doing the negative stuff again.
Yeah.
If I'm saying that right, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that
Okay.
that too. But this
Okay.
the thing. I didn't want to do it because I knew that it hurted God. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I knew it hurt God. Like God didn't. He don't want that.
Okay.
So I knew if I'm writing this negative music, I'm going against everything that God is telling me to do. I didn't want to hurt God. And see, when you have a relationship with Christ, man, it's like having a relationship with a woman. Or a woman having a relationship with a man. You want to do everything you can to please that person and to make that person happy and not
Right.
hurt that person.
Right.
So I didn't want to hurt God. I wanted to please him. So
Okay.
that's one of the reasons I started writing all that negative music, man. And I end up giving my life to Christ in prison. You know,
Okay.
and I want to just tell anybody out there, man, it don't matter where you at, you know what I'm saying? Like, if God did it for me, if I was able to change my life, you know, in prison and do a whole U-turn, like, you can do it. Anybody can do it. You know, I did a whole U-turn, man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I was going this way. But when God came in, he sent me that way. If I would have kept going this way, I would have been dead or in prison.
You wouldn't
right
even be
now,
doing
bro.
this interview right
I wouldn't
now.
be doing this interview right now.
Wow.
But God specializes in U-turns. I did a whole U-turn and went that way where he was telling
So
me
when
to
you
go.
got out of prison this time, that was
That-
foolishness was done. Huh?
It was over with.
So you had to get
Foolishness
different
was over with.
friends, or
Oh,
when you
yeah.
first walked out the walls, what did you first kind of?
Yeah,
was
I
the
got
old friends was the negative people still trying to reach out to you?
Oh yeah, I still had them trying to reach out to me, but it was a different thing because now I'm
They
in
seen a
church
different
now.
Kent, huh?
Yeah, because now I'm in church now.
Okay.
Before I went in, I wasn't in church.
Okay.
So now I'm in church, hanging around more mentors and people that godly people, Christian people. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Not saying that all Christians perfect. 'Cause we all know ain't nobody perfect.
Right.
But these ain't the people that's out there committing crimes,
Okay.
smoking weed and
They
drinking.
kept you strong and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. They kept me strong, kept my spirit strong, kept me looking towards God, kept me in that Bible, and kept learning. Cause like I said, it's just learning the words and lining your life up with it, and that's how your life began to change. Now it was a struggle when I got out.
I understand.
It was a struggle.
Mhm.
As a convicted felon, I struggled, bro. You know, I was trying to get
You
jobs.
probably like, man, what I'm gonna do and all that. You ain't used to working for nobody.
No.
Right.
You know, I told myself when I was in there, brother, I'm not gonna get out. And like they got this Christian religion, what's it called when you in jail? The jailhouse religion. I forgot what the name of, but it's a jailhouse religion thing. To when you get out, you go back to doing what you was doing, but you just following Christ while you in there. Forgot the name of it. But I
Okay.
told myself I wasn't gonna do that. I said,
Okay.
man, I'm not gonna be like everybody else. I always wanted to be different. And I said, I'm not gonna do what everybody else do, get out and turn their back on God and go back to the streets. I said, I
Wow.
don't care what happened, no matter what, I'm still gonna stay strong and trust God through all of it, bro. And I remember I had a job and work release. I kept that job for like a year and a half.
Mhm.
It was a back-breaking job, bro. And what it was doing tire mulch. So what we used to do, I used to get on the front end loader, pick up these truck tires and throw it in like this big bin that chops up the tires.
Wow.
So once I do that, I jump off that, run inside, make sure the blade's tight because the blade's got to be super tight to chop these big old tires up.
Right.
You know, and then from there, the thread and stuff come off the tires and it makes a mess all over the floor. So once I tighten that up, I jump down, get the broom, make sure my area clean, kept it clean. After I get
So
done
when
with
you
that,
got
the
out, you
broom
went
up.
back to Florida. That ain't because you didn't come to Atlanta yet, right?
Nah, I wasn't in Atlanta. I was
Okay.
in Florida
Okay.
doing all this.
Okay.
So I gave it 100%, man. Like, you know, and you know, in the Bible, God said, when you work unto me and like you working for Christ. And then you ain't working for the men, you working for God.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
You in this zone right now.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
I knew I bust my behind, bro. I gave it everything I got. I ended up hurting my back, man. My sciatic nerve, cause I was working so dang on hard. I was giving it all I got, working for somebody else, but it was for God.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I guess this was setting me up for entrepreneurship. All along, it was setting me up for entrepreneurship.
Wow.
I couldn't see it at the moment, but it was setting me up. And I remember leaving that job because I was like, man, I'm only making $350 a week doing this back-breaking job. I said, I got to find me something.
And you used that hustle money, wasn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, man, I got to find me something else. I ended up quitting that job. I had benefits and everything because it worked for a company. I had everything with that benefit, but it wasn't paying enough. I needed more money.
I got you.
Because remember that guy told me in prison that if I give my life to God, that he would allow me to be successful in the music.
Now, do you still keep in contact with that guy?
I don't.
Is he still locked up, or you not for sure?
I don't even really remember him no more.
Okay,
man.
get your mic.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, you gotta keep
I
reminding
know.
me.
Yeah, no problem. No, you good. You good. Yeah,
Put your back.
Yeah.
All right.
I ain't know if you kept in contact with him.
Nah, I wish I would have, man. I wish I
Okay.
would have kept in contact with that guy, man. Till today, I wish, but
So
I
to
lost
fast
contact.
forward a little bit, so when you got out, you was in Florida, you had to get you another job,
yep.
and then you was doing odd jobs in Florida. Then that's when you moved to Atlanta.
Nah, I didn't move to Atlanta till 2014. Cause see,
So you ain't been here that long then.
Nah, only been about
About
6
6
years.
years?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, when I got out, I started.
And that's when
doing-
you met your wife.
I met my wife. I met my wife when we met last year. Last year,
Oh,
2019.
okay.
Yeah, so I met her here in
So let me ask you something. So when you hear this, you like, man, that's my husband. I mean, how did you react? Like, that's my. You feel me? If you don't mind me asking that,
Yeah,
I know
no, you can
you
ask
probably
me
like,
what you want.
I married him. So when you heard that or whatever, how did you react?
Well, I didn't think that, I wasn't looking to marry him. More of, I was looking for help with my son, because I was looking for people like to help me to get
Like a
my son.
mentor or something?
Yeah.
Like y'all.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't never thought this man would be my husband
Okay.
until one day we talked all night long, and we was talking about my son. I was like, wait a minute, because I said, wait a minute, this man right here, he
I
different.
got you.
He different from the rest.
Gotcha.
And that's when God said, that's your husband.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah. Now I couldn't do what y'all can do. I couldn't go into prisons and get nobody out. My job is to keep them out, like to keep them from getting there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To keep you
Right.
out of prison, not the graveyard. That's
Right.
my mission.
I got you.
I can't do.
You know,
that.
man, I
already
wish
can't do
that
that.
pandemic was going on, because, and he might witness before the pandemic, man. I used to go inside the Evolution Center,
Yeah.
the Atlanta Mission, people just getting out of prison, and you can come and tell them, you can come in there and bring a message.
Oh, yeah,
bro.
definitely,
But it's
yeah.
coming back.
Yeah.
It's coming
But
back.
remember me. Like Pop said, remember me.
Wow. So right now, what you currently doing, you travel around, you like motivational speaker and stuff, right?
Yep. Motivational speaking, going in and out of detention centers, prisons, and stuff like that. Like I just came
Now,
down.
so when you have a felony, you still can go in there.
yeah.
Don't you got to get clearance?
Not in
Because I
Florida.
know
Not
most.
in, yeah, you know what? They do a background check.
Right. So,
But
how
I
did
don't
you-
have I don't have like no, that been years ago, like 10 years ago. I ain't got nothing pending.
Yeah.
Then you
Oh,
go-
so it's okay.
yeah, and then that thing got to be like 2 or 3 years. Yeah,
Okay.
2 or 3
Okay.
years. As long as you've been out by a certain amount of time, you still can
Okay.
go in. As long as
So you
ain't
go back to
fresh out.
Florida a lot, don't you?
Yeah, because I'm from there, so that's where I started at. So it's mostly Florida. That's
Really
call it.
call you. Okay.
I'm trying
okay.
to. I wanted to spread worldwide though, Atlanta and everything. But
So explain the trucking company, man.
the trucking company came about because when I don't have to tell you, the trucking company came about because remember the guy in prison was telling me if I give my life to God that He would allow me to be successful in the music business.
Right.
All right. So this the thing. You got to figure out this entrepreneurship, figuring out what is it that you want out of life. See, so many people go through life and they don't know what they want. So first you got to figure out what is it that you want. Once you figure out what is it that you want, you got to figure out how to get there. Right. And if you got God in your life, He gonna hook the right people up for you, and He gonna allow things to come to you to show you the way.
Right.
But the thing is figuring out what you want to do and figuring out how to get there. I wanted to be a Christian rapper with my own record label, so I had to figure out how to get there. My cousin introduced me to trucking, and this how this happened. When I quit that that job I was telling you I had, the tire mulch,
Right.
I started doing multi-level marketing. Right? Somebody introduced me to multi-level marketing. And with multi-level marketing, if you make enough sales, you work your way to the top. No, before that, let me go back one. I started throwing newspapers. throwing newspapers out my car. My engine ended up blowing. I really didn't make no money throwing newspapers. Somebody then introduced me to multi-level marketing.
Okay.
And then the thing was, if you sell enough cable and stuff like that, you work your way to the top. You will start getting all this residual income. They'll give you a brand new Lexus and all that. Man, I was not good at that at all. I ain't make no money. I remember going to one of my cousins and telling my cousin, you know, to buy some cable from me so I can make some money. Cousin didn't buy. He said, "Cuz, you need to get a real job." I was like, "Oh man, that junk hurt me so much." But he was a truck driver. He started telling me about trucking. So I said, okay, because I'm still trying to figure out. I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be a Christian rapper with my own record label, but I had to figure out how to get there. I needed a job that was going to make enough money so I can take that money and buy flyers, buy CDs, buy promoters. You know, it costs a lot of money when you do a record label. And when I was in the street, I was selling drugs.
Especially
so
independent, right?
Yeah, when you're
Okay,
independent,
right.
I always wanted to be independent.
Okay.
So when he told me about trucking, I'm like, man, trucking is a job that make about what I make selling drugs. That's the closest thing I could get to drug money, driving truck.
Right.
So when he told me about that, I was like, that's what I need to do, because now if I get that, I have enough money to buy CDs and flyers and stuff like that. So I end up getting in trucking. Man, listen, I faced so much adversity and opposition along the way. I remember filling out 100 and something applications, bro, and sending them in. Everybody was turning me down. Some was saying like 5 years.
I know you was getting frustrated, boy.
What was I? Man, I was getting so frustrated, man, because
So when you was getting turned down, was you thinking like, well, first of all, no, you had God in your life.
Yeah, I had
You
God
weren't
in my
thinking
life.
that negative stuff.
Nah,
like,
I wasn't thinking. See, anybody else probably would have been like, man, bump this. I'm gonna go back to doing what I was doing.
Right.
I'm gonna get me some drugs, breaking me some houses, or doing it still, do whatever I got to do. But my mindset was different. It's
I
all
got
about
you.
the mindset.
I got
And
you.
I trusted God. I just felt like, okay, if they giving me a problem with finding a job for right now, I got to find something else, that's gonna sustain me for right now. So I had to take whatever I can get for right now. I can't be picky because I screwed my own life up. I messed my life up, so I can't be picky what it was. So if it was busting suds, I would have bust suds. If it was working at McDonald's, I would have worked at McDonald's, whatever
Right,
it was.
right.
But I ended up working on the back of the garbage truck, bro, on a temp service. And I had told myself I would never work on the back of a stinking garbage truck. And when I was 14 years old, my uncle used to work on the back of the garbage truck, right? And he used to come in the house, man, he used to be
You got
smelling so
Noki
dang
laugh,
on
look at
stink. That joke would be smelling
Right.
stink, boy. I told myself I never worked on the back of no stinking garbage truck. But you know what, bro? When it came down to it, I had to lower my pride
You had to
and
do
get
it,
on the
huh?
back of that garbage truck, bro. But I knew that wasn't the end result. You know what I'm saying? So adversity and opposition only comes to make us strong. It ain't come to tear us down. It made me stronger, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I knew that wasn't the end result, but I knew I needed something right now to put some money in my pocket. Even though they was paying me $200 a week, I had to give my auntie $50 out that $200, so I was left with like $150 at the end of the week.
That wasn't nothing. You
That
right
wasn't
about
nothing,
that,
bro.
boy.
You know what I'm saying? But I had to do what I had to do, and I still was filling them applications in, though, sending them in. While I'm on the back of the garbage truck. Man, one day, man, God opened up opportunities for me, bro. And they gave me a call in Atlanta, told me to come up to Atlanta. They
So
said,
you
if I
came to
can
the
back-
ATL, huh?
I came to the ATL. Now, before I came to the ATL, I remember another company had called me and told me it was in Florida. They told me to come take the road test. I went down there, bro. I took the road test. They told me to back the trailer up. How about I could not back that trailer in for nothing in the world? The dude sent me home, bro. Didn't give me the job. Man, I was so discouraged, but I wasn't fit to give up.
Right.
I called the school again. I said, listen, how much would y'all charge me just to teach me how to back up a trailer? They said $100. I said, so $100 you'll teach me just how to back the trailer. I said, because I done already paid. I paid $5,500.
Right.
I paid $5,500 to go to school from a grant from Obama was giving away. That's how I got my CDLs from a grant. I went to the job link and they allowed me to go.
Wow.
So I'm telling these people, I'm like, man, look, I done already paid $5,000 for my CDL, but I just need to learn how to back this trailer up. They said $100. I called my cousin that I was living with. I said, cuz, just let me borrow $100. I said, once I get the job, my income tax, I'll pay you back your $100. She let me borrow the $100. I went down to the school. They showed me how to back the trailer in for
did it, huh?
$100. That did it. I kept filling out more applications. That's when the job in. You see what I'm saying, bro? When adversity and opposition come, it ain't meant to tear us down. It make us stronger. I want for to give up, bro. You can't just give up like that, man.
So basically, what I'm hearing right now, and of course you're gonna continue your story. When you see what our young people go on today, what you went through, there's no excuse.
Man, no excuse.
What
got
I'm
shirts
hearing
say
from
that.
you,
Yeah.
because I'm surprised you to tell your story, man.
Rose, you know they say that. You know
That's
they say to make all the sense in the world. Not saying that the other part don't work. He won't worry about that job. He's worried about a job.
Yeah.
There's so many cats right now that worry about, they got it, they can't do this, they can't do that, but your ass struggling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're struggling.
That's right.
You gonna try how you turn down something you ain't got shit coming in?
There you go. Yeah.
Cause you gotta plead everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, but hey,
Yeah.
And you know, it just kind of remind me everything that he's saying, because that's how my life was. And coming here to Atlanta, just like what I was telling you, I when I made that post last week and I said from ice cream to the green machine, you know, they was
I
calling.
missed that one. I gotta find that
Yeah,
one.
they was calling me the ice cream or the ice cream man. And right today I work at the company that make these chairs. sell
Chairs
these
you sitting in,
the
huh?
chairs that we sit in.
Yeah.
You know, this the company that I work for here in Atlanta.
Amen.
You know, called Steel Case.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you see the name on the back of the chairs.
Mhm.
You know, and I was the employee of the year. You know, I'm one of the best employees at the company. And you know, I go to work every day. I didn't work every day since October, every single day. So you know, I understand what you're saying.
And you actually came to Atlanta as well to change your life too, right? Is I'm right on that?
Yeah, I had to change my life, man. I had to change.
That's what's up.
I had to change
Wow.
my location.
So you feeling what he's saying now?
Yeah,
You
and
doing the
he's
same
right,
thing,
because
bro.
it is in the mind.
Yeah.
You know, and you got power over your destiny.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you gotta think it. You know, in order to make it manifest.
That's right.
Go ahead and continue, Kent. Now you in Atlanta. Oh, I'm sorry. Now you in Atlanta, right? You arrive in Atlanta.
Yeah, cause
Okay,
cause
then
I was
go
filling
ahead.
Out,
Okay.
I was filling out the applications and the job in Atlanta told me to
Right.
come up and if I can pass the test, they'll give me the job. So I remember calling my auntie and telling her, I need you to take
They
me
is
up
proud
to
of you
Atlanta.
now. Then.
Not,
Now that ain't the auntie that you was staying with. was in Florida?
This a different auntie.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of aunties. That's
Okay.
one thing I do got.
But the family was proud of you now because you didn't turn your life around.
Oh
right?
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
They remember
yeah.
the old
oh,
kid.
yeah. They proud of me now because I turned my life around. I'm living for God. Oh yeah. And
Okay.
That was all they was.
Hey,
all-
KO,
most of
KO,
them
real
Christians.
quick. I'm sorry. The auntie that you ran away from,
Mhm.
did you ever get back with her?
Yeah, that's
Right.
like one of my best friends. I
Yeah.
love my
So
auntie.
she see the new Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you go home and visit?
Oh yeah, she's in a home right now, so I go to the
Okay.
home and visit her when I go to the house.
Okay.
Yeah, I love my auntie, man.
So you in Atlanta, you know.
Yeah.
and,
So now, I'm getting ready to go to Atlanta. I called my auntie and tell her to drop me off. I said I'm gonna rent a rental car, and I need you to drop me off, and you take the rental car back to Enterprise for me. I said, shoot, if they send me back, it's either do or die. Then I'm gonna have to catch a bus back.
Right.
If I don't pass this road test. They took me up there, man. The guys gave me the keys, and I was so scared, man. They were like, get in the truck. They said, we're going on a road test. And they said, we're going to
Passed
get the
it?
back. Man, I passed it by the half my chinny chin chin. I backed that
See
thing
what
in.
God do.
It was. I was
Again,
nervous
you
and
all-
everything.
You listen to Real Talk with New Order live on DISCO100 Radio YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We got a man in the studio, man. Went from prison to power. Please call in. This is the first time we had to show that the Lions ain't even rain yet. You know, sometimes question mentality of our people. 678-638-6626. I'm surprised, man, you're here to tell your story because what you just told us briefly, man. You really came a long way.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but God still ain't done with you.
Still
Go
ain't
ahead,
done.
continue.
Yeah, bro. So once I got there, they did me the road test. I passed it. I passed the road test by the half my chinny chin chin. They put me in some raggedy truck. It was some A-Rap. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for
one,
real?
Yeah, one light might work, the other light didn't work, the Jake brake didn't work. Man, that junk was so raggedy, but it allowed me to get the experience I needed. You know, they would send me to California and bring me back. You know, I worked there for almost a year, I think, and I seen another guy
Okay.
that I knew that he was in another truck. He was in a brand new truck.
Right.
So he was telling me I was asking him about the company that he was with. And he told me that the company named J&R Sugar, that they'll hire people with that's convicted felons as long as you keep it real with them. You know, so I called them up, kept it real. Damn, I was in a brand new 2014. It was the year 2014.
So you save your money, then is this when you starting your own trucking
Yeah, so I
company?
started doing a lease purchase. You know the lease purchase.
Right.
So I
From lease to
started,
right.
After I worked for them for a little bit, I think 6 months, I went into a lease purchase. So they was holding my hand, showing me the business with the lease purchase program. And then I ended up meeting a guy named Mervyn Thompson, you know, became my mentor. Shout out to Mervyn Thompson. You know, he had his own authority. And see, this was my thing. When I was driving, when I got the trucking job, I was driving, they want you on the road 2 weeks at a time. You know, some people stay out months at a time, but they want you at least stay out 2 weeks at a time. And you going from your family. You ain't gonna see your child, your wife. You know, you going 2 weeks at a time. So
But at that time, you didn't have a family.
I didn't have a family, but music. Remember, music always was in the back of my mind. Remember, I said you got to know what you want out of life.
I got you.
You got to figure out how to get there. So it was always music. So I'm like, man, you
So
want
it took you from the music family for a minute.
It took me
I
from the
got
music because I'm like, people want me to do shows and interviews. I can't do them. Like if I had to do an interview
You
like
had to
this,
make that money.
yeah, I'm on the road. So I had to figure out something, and that's when I met Mervyn Thompson, the one I just gave a shout out. I used to see him all the time with his wife and kids. He had his kids' basketball games and football games and with his wife all the time. I'm like, hold on, wait. This dude, a truck driver like me, how is he spending so much time with his family like that?
Okay.
He ended up telling me, man, you need to get your own authority. It's what it's called, getting your own authority.
Own truck.
Yeah,
Okay.
your own business. And when he showed me that, man, it was like.
Now, did I read something? You might have posted something. Now you actually hiring for drivers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I bought a second truck.
Okay. I
Yep,
thought I read
yep.
something on that.
Yep.
Wow.
So what I did though, when he showed me the game, what it allowed me to do was now we have these load boards. Like when you got your own trucking company, you get a load board. And just say if somebody wanted me to speak in Miami, right? And I'm right in Atlanta, I would get on the load board and I would type in Atlanta, Georgia from the starting point, and the end point where I'm trying to go at, I will put Miami. So what would happen is all the loads would pop up on the load board that's going from Atlanta, Georgia to Miami.
And you'll take it.
Yeah, I look at the loads, who paying the most. You know, just say if they were saying they paying $1,500. I would say, I would call them and say, look, I want that load. I say, they'll say 15. I said, no, I need 17 for it or 18 for it. They might say, no, we can't do 18. We give you 16. I'd be like, no, man, let's meet in the middle. Let's do 17. It's a lot of negotiating.
Right.
And just say we do 1,700. I go down there. I park the truck at a truck stop. I would call Enterprise, have Enterprise to pick me up from the truck stop, and then I would go to the event, do the event. Once I leave the event, I go back to Enterprise with the car, have them drop me back off at the truck. I mean, at the Enterprise drop me back off at the truck, and I'll find me a load back out of Miami, going back to Atlanta or wherever the next show at. So that's what I've been doing.
I see how. So he used it so you get there to do your music.
I killed two birds with
That
one
was
stone.
smart.
Bro, and I've been doing that. I've been doing that all the way.
Are you currently doing that now?
I do it
You
now.
still do it.
I do it now. And that's how I'm
So have you got any shows here in Atlanta?
You gonna have one, don't worry about it.
Oh, he got him. Oh.
Hit your mic again. You know what you can do, kid? Just slide it back the mic a little bit in the thing. There you go.
All right. Yes, I'm doing more. I'm doing them mostly in Florida, but yeah, I'd love to do something.
I'm putting on the record. He gonna have one.
Oh, yeah.
This man know a lot of people. It ain't what you know, it's who you know.
That's
man.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Pastor, that's my boy, man. Yeah, ask him about Prince, Jamaican Prince. He gonna tell you say Jamaican Prince. Oh, yeah, Prince. That's my boy. Yeah.
Again, we're live with Real Talk with New Water. I don't know how much we got left into the show, but
Jamaican
call in
Prince,
678-638-6626. We're talking to Kent Osborne. Went from prison to power. The one just signed in. You got to hear his story. I mean, you can like and comment all day, but you need to call in and get a question because your son or daughter might be going through things. Now, you currently do mentoring as well, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now,
I
how
got
often
to
do you
show
do
them
that?
I do it a lot, bro. I have people hit me up in my email and stuff like that, and want me to mentor their kids and stuff like that.
Okay, because you definitely have a story.
Tell them
man.
how you became a mentor, who you went through.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I ain't finished with the story yet. So yeah, so
Look at
that's coming. Yeah. So once I started doing that, I started taking my money and investing into the music business. Like
Okay.
I said, doing songs like I was doing when I was in the street, getting flyers, posters, paying promoters. But God had something else. It didn't stop right there. I didn't know I was gonna be doing everything else I'm doing right now. I just wanted to do music. Should I call him now?
PT.
Hold on, we live, y'all. Look at y'all.
Hey, look. Hey, T,
I
you
can't believe you doing this now.
You right here playing with a studio. You call the number for me, 67. You got the number? I'm gonna text you up. I'm gonna text you up right now. Call the number right now.
So you around some real people, huh?
That was up. Yeah, you gonna
Right.
call.
But go ahead, Kent.
Yeah. So yeah. He said I'm a king.
Go ahead.
who
That's
that?
what he said,
Who was
though.
that, Pastor
Pastor
Troy?
Troy, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
From,
So
I didn't know you knew him, bro. So we
I
need
didn't
a
either.
donation. Don't just joking.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
oh, he
Oh,
said,
Trick Daddy?
he said Trick
Okay.
Daddy is good.
Oh, I'm on 42.
Wow. We got Pastor Troy
got
calling in. Man, who we got in this?
Troy, y'all.
Kent, who are you, bro? Pastor Troy is calling in with Real Talk with New Order right now.
Hey, what up?
Hold on, let me say something. What's up, Pastor Troy?
What's I'm chilling. What it is, Prince? I told him that nigga ain't no Prince.
Hold on. This Pastor Troy. I want to introduce myself, bro, if you don't mind, man.
What's up?
Yeah, my name is Gerald Rose. I have a national human rights organization, man. You know, we there for the people, man, and had a chance to speak up for Sandra Bland when Michael Vick got in trouble. You know, I do a lot of this young man right now. I got beat up at the IHOP in Marietta, man. So we out here doing some positive things in the community. Hopefully, man, I can kind of get with you, man, you know, because we need you all to get to these young people, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
it's all good.
I would love, if you don't mind, like
Y'all,
maybe I could get Disco is my boy. I've been doing Disco for a while, so hopefully I can kind of connect with you, man. But dang, it take Kent Osborne to get to the studio for Pastor Troy to call in. Go ahead, Kent. Go ahead.
Hey, just grab my joint. Hey, Disco, you can pass it to him. Just shoot me a text, bro. Keep me posted. We'll chop.
I will. Oh boy, listen to you right now. Okay, listen to you.
What up, P?
I'm chilling, Casey. All right, Prince.
Man, I'm all right, man. Hey, we got to get on another one of them
Hey,
songs
man,
again.
y'all ain't
Man,
going
nigga,
nowhere.
man, like that boy, nigga, good to hear from you. Where you been? You been up here?
Yeah, I've been up here, man. You know my cousin passed away that stayed across the street. Remember Keith?
Yeah, he passed.
Yeah, he just passed the other day.
The other day?
Yeah,
We
man, the other
live
day
with
down in
Pastor
Florida.
Troy.
Shut the fuck up.
No, for real.
Oh,
For real, bro.
You still been down in Florida or you back in the A?
I'm in the A. I've been in the A for 6 months, man, running a trucking company, writing
6
books,
years.
everything. 6 years, my bad. My wife, you know, I done got married. My wife had to correct me just now, but I've been here 6 years.
All right, man, look, take that number, get that joint from Disco or this your number,
Disco,
my
can
nigga,
I
lock
get
me
his
down
number,
and let's
too?
catch up.
All right, let's do that.
All right, good.
Hey, keep up the good work, bro.
All right, let's go.
all right, T.
That was Pastor Troy to my Facebook, YouTube channel. Okay, Ken, so we gotta bring him back. Who else you gonna get called into the studio, bro?
I told you I was gonna have them
Oh no, I know you being straight up. I did
Yeah,
some
he got a
research.
song with Pastor Troy, right?
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Hook up
Wow.
with Troy.
Like I said, that's how use our resources. I did that to let them know there's some people out. We need these kind of people to. Do you agree with that to get to our young
That's
people,
true.
man? Because
That's
they
true,
they
yeah.
look at them as role models.
Right,
do.
right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yo,
So I'm not doing it like, you know what I'm saying? We need him.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
One major person, man, like that little computers out now. Cause that's old school bus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah.
little
Yeah.
babies and the dumb babies. Them little
I don't really, be honest,
little
kid.
clowns,
Let me
they
ask you
wear
something.
their shirt tucked in,
Right.
pants pulled up.
Them kids will do it.
Let me ask you something,
That's
Kent.
true.
Let's go back to the music.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get in today's music. I'm all about old school,
Mhm.
you know, and when I hear stuff today, you know, back then, like NWA,
Mhm.
their message was talking about what was
Message.
going
See
on.
what you said,
These
message.
days, do you agree there's no
There's
what
no
you think
message.
Tupac would have been? He
Oh,
had a
yeah.
message,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he had a good,
Biggie
he
had a message.
Yeah.
I listened to the baby, you know, I'm sorry, y'all, I can't get into that.
Yeah. You got-
It's just me. Maybe
yeah.
maybe y'all can, but I know our young people.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right.
He did
So
one
what you
thing-
think about
He
that?
did one
I think
thing with that
Baby
one
did a
song.
nice
That one
song.
song he did for the Black Lives Matter thing.
Yeah.
That was on point.
Now he
Yeah.
did that.
That was on point.
Now I like
that
when
was-
Jeezy and Oh Boy squashed that
Yeah.
that thing, but what's the difference between the music now and back then, in your perspective?
Well, I mean, even back then they had some stuff that was still negative. I think it's probably the delivery.
It's just
you know,
the
other
social
than-
media's big now and exposes everything. Because you know when
Yeah.
we was listening to all that, we didn't have a platform with social media. Now
Yeah, so
our
social
kids is
media
being
played,
exposed to
Because
everything.
it was still
man.
gangster rap back then. You know what I'm
But,
saying?
yeah.
Like I said, I was back then. I was still listening to Plies, somebody ride with that fire and all that stuff. Damn pop pills at 6 a.m. So it was still negative music back then.
Right.
It's just like you said, the social media and stuff like that.
Right.
It just made it a lot
Right.
more bigger.
Wow,
social
that's-
media is a
that's
big
deep, man.
platform. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's deep.
I agree
Go
with
ahead.
that.
Nope.
Yeah, what it is that corruption is big business. So corrupting your child or corrupting
I appreciate that.
this generation, corrupting this generation is big business. Drugs, alcohol, whether it's whatever kind of music you may call it, but it's just big business because black market, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you know that it's $1 billion industry, and
Right.
you are not gonna shut this money down.
Right.
You know, and that's the reason why so many people are lured into it.
I want to say
So-
something. I want to say something about what he just said.
Go ahead.
too. Remember, I had you listening to that white guy that was on there talking about the rap music.
Yeah.
He was saying about, and Canton Jones had us listen to it in our group. he was saying that it's fixed for you got to talk about a certain topic. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk about, killing blacks and negativity
Because
and
these
stuff
rappers,
like
because
that.
the labels is actually owned by white people.
Yeah,
right?
that's what they want
Yeah.
to sell music.
So
Like
they
you
put
said,
that
it's big
stuff in our
business.
community. Let me ask you
Yeah.
something. Let me know if I'm wrong on this. This was a guy who was an entrepreneur like you, but he was selling T-shirts with marijuana. You remember that?
Yeah, I
The
think I
T-shirt,
heard
it was
somebody
only
do that.
sold in the black community.
Yeah.
So I approached him and said, "Hey, that was wrong because they not selling this in the white community." He said, "Well, Mr. Rose, you selling out." I said, "How I'm selling out? I'm trying to." That is a negative message, and I want you to be honest. Was I wrong on that? So I had a protest in front of his business, but I was looking at the bigger picture
Yeah.
because of the image that was sold just in our community. You think I was wrong, but I know he was
By
just
doing it
still
in front
trying to
of his
make.
business.
Yeah, but I know he was trying to make a dollar.
Yeah.
And he's probably like, this is what I don't think I could do. So you looking at me like, yeah, you was wrong on that.
I
You
will
remember the
agree.
T-shirts though?
Yeah, I think you were kind of wrong on that because a lot of people got to make a living, man. Sometimes that's what a lot of these rappers are doing.
But it was
A lot
only
of
in
them
our
are making
community though.
money.
You feel me?
I know, but people still got to make a living.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes that's all people really know. That's what these rappers doing.
But at least he
These
wasn't selling drugs. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and
Then I
weed,
found out
get
he
ready
was
to be
selling
the
other
weed.
stuff out the store and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see what it is that you are not selling in. I mean, selling out. You are not buying in.
Yeah.
You see, he wants you. When
Right, I
they
get what you're saying.
they want you to buy into what we call the culture or what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't buying into it, then you are not really fitting in.
Yeah.
True.
They dropped Rick
You know?
Ross. I heard Rick Ross went out of line and was talking about in one of his songs. He was talking about date pills or something like date
Okay.
rape, the pills.
Right.
And they said Adidas all them dropped them because he went off script. He was supposed to keep talking about the killing, the drug, like everything that they want our youth that's gonna corrupt us. He supposed to stay on that topic, but they said as soon as he went out into the date rape thing, what
Yeah.
Crosby and all them would do, he said they dropped him.
Right.
Yeah.
We got
What-
about 5 minutes left into the show. Again, this has been awesome. You all to my YouTube channel on DISCO100 Radio, subscribers to the Facebook family. This has been an awesome show from prison to power. So Noki, you wanted to say something right quick?
Yeah.
We got about 5 minutes. We gonna go around the table.
Yeah.
Last.
Also,
announcements.
when you elevating the conscience of people, that's also gonna be frowned upon because
That's what I was
That's
trying
true,
to do.
though. That's true.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, they was looking at me like, man, at least I ain't selling drugs. But he got these I don't know if y'all remember them shirts back in the day. Yeah. And it wasn't sold in the white just in our community, you know what I'm saying? So I was approaching that way, but I do understand. But we came to agreement though.
That's
right.
You know,
They don't
that's
want
good.
they don't want the unconscious peoples to be awakened. It's like waking up a sleeping giant.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you talking about economics, now where that money gonna flow to? So they want
That's
that
true.
money. They want that money to
Keep it in.
stay
Right.
stay
yeah.
corrupt.
So I understand where you're coming from. Go ahead, Ken. Any final words you want to say? We'll go around the table.
Oh no,
and-
I was just I just want to touch up a little bit on on basically what I was talking about with the story.
Okay.
From prison to power. Even I got with you ever heard of E.T. Eric Thomas? That's what you wanted me to tell you about.
Yeah.
Eric Thomas, he's the number one motivational speaker in the world.
Okay.
You ever heard of him? Or you seen
So
him?
you gonna have him call into the studio too. Look at her. Look at
That's who he is.
Yeah,
her.
that's
That's who you talk to all this.
That's one of my mentors, man. I ended up getting with them, man.
Wow.
It cost the money. I had to kick out $1,000 a month to go through this school. They got a training school.
Okay.
But since I was already telling my testimony before, like in churches, before I
Right.
perform and interviews, I always told my testimony. I said, you know what? I need to become a motivational speaker. I said, because I'm always telling my testimony.
Gotcha.
I said, but if I'm
That's
going to become a
basically what you're
motivational
doing, right.
speaker, I need to get with the number one motivational speaker in the world. That was my mindset. I need to hook up with the number one motivational speaker in the world. And I Googled who the number one motivational speaker in the world was.
And this
And that's when
came.
Eric Thomas came on.
Right.
And I had to figure out how do I get to him. And that's when I figured out how to get to him. It charged me $1,000 a month. And I went to the school for like 6 months and ended up getting certified as a motivational speaker.
Right.
So now here I am, man, with my own book, a motivational speaker, my own trucking company, my record label, a mentor. And I'm just telling anybody, man, Christian rapper, telling anybody, man, like, if I was able to do it from where I came from, you can do it. Like, ain't no excuse.
That's
Right.
true.
Ain't no excuse. You can do it.
Right. Well, Shanair, I know you played
Mhm.
both roles on behalf of New Order. I really appreciate the research that you're doing. You always there when called upon. So I really want to thank you on that side of the fence. Of course, you supporting your husband and all that. Y'all doing great things, entrepreneurs. So we all got to work together, you know.
That's
So
true.
we definitely, I don't even know why we ain't became Facebook friends, but before we leave here, I need to share your stuff. I be seeing it when she be posting,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
need to have direct contact
Yeah.
because I might need you to speak. You know, we might get a call or something or whatever that
Mhm.
some kid is out of control or whatever. We can have you bring that message,
Right, right.
you know,
Gotcha.
things like
Yep.
that. So, again, to my new, any final thing you'd like to say before we end this segment?
No, you know, I just really people don't really understand, but getting around positive people, man, that would change your
It makes a
life.
difference.
That
Yeah.
would change your life.
And all that negativity, that
Oh
hate stuff,
Lord, yes,
block that
Lord.
out, right?
Yes,
Because the more
yes.
big you go, kid, I don't know how you go through. I go through that. People talk makeup stuff. The more big you get,
Yep.
the
The
more
more
haters.
haters
you
But you know what? Who
have.
got your back?
God.
Man up above.
Yeah.
I always tell people, I don't want to hear it. That's the
Mhm.
man got me. As long as he know that you real about this,
That's right.
he gonna keep blessing you.
Amen.
That's true.
That's the only one I get can critique me basically.
Yeah.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? No
That's
man,
right.
woman, yeah, because
That's true.
yeah. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm just saying, long as you around positive people, and that's what I tell my son and my nephew who's in prison right now. Man, you got to stay positive, cause what you speak out your mouth is what gonna come.
So when is he
What's
eligible
gonna
for
happen.
parole?
Well, he got to do the whole 25.
And how long he been in
He
there?
just only been in there 2 years.
And you know what? Hey,
Only for a book bag, y'all. Well, my husband always get on
Yeah,
me
I
when
always
I
get on
say
about
only
that,
for a book bag.
Yeah, because
But
he
what
robbed
was that
somebody. He
armed
pulled a gun and robbed
Yeah,
somebody. That's
armed
all.
Did he
robbery.
pull it out
They did pull the gun
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
But
and pointed it?
Yeah.
That's
That's what
what
they
that's
say,
what
yeah.
they said.
That's what he
had
charged
happened.
with.
We wasn't there. They didn't get the cameras on what really happened that day. But the thing is, my son, them other cases been like that, and they didn't even get not even 2 years. So
Every
why
case
would
Let
my
me ask you,
son
was the
get
person, was
25?
the suspect white?
No, all of them was black.
For real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
we
just
just
the
gonna
judge
continue to-
that's in our.
You know,
in the
we can't
community.
question God's work. Maybe
That's
he
true.
get your son's
For a
attention.
reason. I
Because
said
what
the
you said
same
earlier,
thing.
your son was not perfect, so he really sitting him down now.
There you
he-
go.
he made
And
a-
once
There
you get him a
go.
second
Yeah.
chance,
He
you
made a
know
lot
what
of
I'm saying?
bad
He gonna
choices.
come out, yeah,
And he must have
He
went to
made a lot of
trial.
bad choices.
He did take it to trial.
he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did take it to trial, and because at the time my son said he didn't do it, but by you being there with someone or whatever,
When that
you
sentence
just
came
had-
down, I know you
Right.
probably went crazy.
Right.
When he walked out that
Right.
courtroom,
Yeah, and that right there told me a whole lot, because everything I was telling my son, he didn't listen,
right.
and everything I kept telling my son, boy, stay in school, stay off the street, do this, don't do that. He did everything.
And
I
even
didn't tell him.
even what I'm confused is that when he was in the military, and I know we got to end this segment. When he was in the military, I wonder why would he get himself caught up like that? Because he was in the
To me,
military.
wasn't thinking, because these young boys, like you say, the music, they want to be hard, want to be more. I used to
Wanna
tell my
be
son all
pants
the time,
down and
you're
all
not
that.
getting in my car with your pants hanging low.
Right.
You're going to pull them pants.
That's
You know,
right.
so he had a lot of things that I was trying to break him out of.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you know, I do think that God had to sit my son and nephew down.
Right.
You know, I don't believe my son gonna do 25 years. I believe in a higher power.
Gotcha.
So, you know, I truly believe that God want my son to realize, look, everything your mama and everybody was trying to tell you,
Right.
you gotta learn.
And we
from.
cool now, me and him cool now.
Yeah,
First he
they
started
cool,
off kinda
yeah.
rocky. I heard him
Of
talking
course,
to
you
him on the
know.
phone.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah,
man,
oh,
don't talk to
yeah.
him. That's your mama, don't talk to
Yeah,
him. He was
yeah.
like, nigga, I slap you. I said, slap who? I said, you slap
He
me.
He
probably
had a
had-
mouth
he
now.
probably had no
Yep.
male figure
He
in his life, and
didn't.
you
He
coming
didn't.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now we cool though. He look
Right.
up to me now.
Yeah.
He's a blessing.
Well, we're gonna
Yeah.
end this. This has been Real Talk with New Order.
Mhm.
Same time next week. We'll be on from 5 to 6:30. Unfortunately, I guess that was scheduled for next week. Had caught the coronavirus because I
wow.
invited the Cobb County DA, the new elected DA, into the office, into the studio. Y'all stay safe. Wear your masks. It's real out here. Noki, continue what you're doing or whatever. Ken, it was a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
A privilege to hear your story.
Yeah, thank you. for
Disco
bringing me in.
100
Oh, yeah.
Radio. You keep doing
Disco.
your thing, bro.
Yes,
man,
yes.
You know, and then Chanel, like I said, thank you on New Order side for all the research what you're doing.
You welcome.
And to my New Order family, not I, but we really doing some great great work in the community. And Renato Lewis, look what God did with you. But you know what? It's time to sue the Marietta police because you don't went overboard. When all charges was not found, it's on. Now we got to see what kind of legal thing we go. So we got some unfinished business. So at 1 o'clock on Tuesday, myself and Kimberly Hartfield, my field director, we'll be doing an exclusive interview with Renato Lewis, and also we're going to have a press conference with the media so he tell his side to the story. God bless you all and peace.